So we've just heard from the panelists about digital media's impact on privacy, on social relationships, the need to trust, the need to use the internet responsibly, the importance to take social action. So how can media literacy help to empower us in the emergent participatory digital media society? Specifically, how can media literacy skills protect our digital footprint and mediate our social interaction? And you and I have been advocating for media literacy for decades. And we passionately believe that everyone should be media literate, and they're not. Despite a growing body of research that demonstrates the effectiveness of media literacy skills. So what's it going to take? What's it going to take to make digital media skills an essential component of literacy, beginning through K through 12? You heard before that most students in this room are not getting media literacy until they get to college. What's it going to take, and what skills do they need?
All right, a big subject, but one that I think we all can exercise some power in if we so choose, and really that's the point of media literacy. We heard about the technical tools, we heard about the media tools, but the tools of media literacy are ourselves, our skills, our understanding, and realizing that we have a relationship with media that's lifelong. It starts from birth, really. Think about an infant being in a room with the television on, or the radio, or I've seen 2-year-olds or even younger start pressing the iPhone of their parents. And so we see this media use that starts really from a very early age, in spite of what the American Academy of Pediatrics recommends. And I don't see any stop to that. So I think we need to acknowledge the reality that we love media. There's no reason not to love media in terms of enjoyment. And we don't want to take media away from people or from our children. So how can we provide media in a way that we can enjoy and yet at the same time benefit from, and at the same time protect ourselves from some of the possible negative outcomes of media? And really that's where media literacy comes in, because media literacy provides some skills of understanding of that relationship with media. And it recognizes that, you know, with media, divorce is not an option. You're going to be using media and interacting with media for the rest of your life. So we need the skills to learn how to do that. And we had a reference earlier to the fact that, you know, media literacy education is not being provided typically in the K-12 environment especially. And I would also argue also at the university level as well. I know that I've given talks to master's degree students at very well-respected universities that have never had any media literacy training. And so it should be definitely a part of our communications programs and be provided throughout the education years. And we have a lot of barriers to that, and so here are some things to think about, you know, that you can do as an active citizen. First of all, if you're a parent or when you become a parent, call for media literacy education at your school. Parents can be very powerful at schools, and if parents want something, they can typically get it if they demand it. And so that's a piece of taking action for media literacy education that's really key. Right now, the K-12 system tends to be really bogged down in what they call core standards. And it's not saying those standards are bad, it's just that they don't really formally recognize media literacy or incorporate media literacy education. And so it's important to all of us as citizens that we have these skills so that we can be prepared when the time comes to really address media literacy. In terms of privacy, we've had a lot of comments here today on what we can do regarding privacy. But, I think it all has to start with the knowledge that we don't have the privacy that we think we do. And so that's all part of media literacy education. What is that relationship? How does it work? When we turn on the TV, use our smartphones, what are we giving in order to get? There's a transaction going on there. It's a relationship that involves transactions. What are those transactions? What are the costs? Because we know that in this world, nothing is free. And so what are we giving? What are we getting? We've all been raised to think that we're not giving anything, that it's free. But it's obvious from today's discussion, it's not free. So again, with media literacy skills, we can start looking at that equation and at that relationship and saying, okay, let's see what this is, and as a citizen, really express our point of view. I think that one of the things we've seen change that I think has been a terrific positive development for media literacy education is the rise of the internet and the ability for all of us to be media producers. And Eyes Wide Open, the film we just saw, really made that point eloquently. And so we have a new power that our parents didn't have and generations before us didn't have. We do have the power of expression. We have the power of being an advocate and of expressing our viewpoint. And definitely we should exercise that power. And that really is the underpinning for media literacy. It's power to the people. It's about empowering you as individuals, as a community, as a group, to be able to take that action and to be able to do it in a knowledgeable way, in a responsible way, and to use the media that we've all been gifted with. And the media has been a really fantastic gift, I think, for all of us. So we want to look at that, and we want to be able to preserve the best of it, and we want to be able to protect ourselves and our families, and also to be recognized by the media companies for the role that we as consumers play in that relationship with them. So our role as a consumer in being able to have some voice about what's important to us with the selection of programs, or what's important to us in terms of our data and our privacy, and who owns it. Looking at legislators and saying, gee, this is really what we want, in expressing our point of view. The FCC has open calls sometimes. That's really important to be able to respond to as a consumer. So we definitely have to take on this new arena of being able to stand up for ourselves and to have the tools and the knowledge to be able to do that. So I really appreciate all of you being here today, and the ability to have this camera, to have this wonderful video, because media is our greatest teacher. And so that's what we're here for.